What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're once again back here with another off-season rebuild as we're back here in the Western Conference after we just did an Eastern Conference one yesterday. This is the second worst team in the West, that being the New Orleans Pelicans. There's also been a lot of news about the Pelicans as of late, so let's just go ahead and talk about everything that's happened in New Orleans and why they're here in the first place and do this New Orleans Pelicans off-season rebuild in NBA 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me about 56% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you do fall in 56%, want to change that as we're on the road to 50,000 subs, that would be greatly appreciated. For context as well, I'm also still recording this before the Golden State Memphis game, and then of course Atlanta and Orlando tonight. So yeah, I don't know if it's really going to matter, but I'm just going to put it out there anyway, just in case something else drops. But talking about the news of the Pelicans, or what the news has been about for the Pelicans, is they've obviously fired David Griffin. He is gone. He's been here for quite some time. Obviously was the catalyst in drafting Zion, even though anybody would have when they got the #1 overall pick. And that's fully what I remember about David Griffin, being very happy about getting the #1 pick. And it's been full of what ifs ever since, basically. Zion Williamson is just not healthy ever, it feels like. So, and now Joe DeMars is taking over. And there was already a report coming out. I don't know if the source is exactly reliable, but apparently the ownership is going to force Joe DeMars to trade Zion Williamson, which I think is the right move anyway. I think it's time to get whatever value you can get out of him and move on from this experiment, because clearly it's never going to work. He is never healthy. It's always a what if for Zion Williamson, and some other team can take a chance on that what if. So let's go ahead and simulate the playoffs, and we'll see who goes on to win the championship and all that, and we can get started. So we got the Knicks and the Wolves, and the Timberwolves going to win the championship. I'm pretty sure that's how the video yesterday started as well. So we got Chris Paul retiring, Kyle Lowry retiring, and here's all your other retirements. For the lottery, obviously the Pelicans find themselves in a great position to get a lottery pick as well. So just like the Wizards and the Jazz video, this is where it's going to begin for us. Let's see what we get. So we have the fourth best odds, 12.5% chance to stay in the top 4, get #1 or whatever. So let's see if we get lucky or if we're going to fall in this lottery simulation. And we will get 3. Okay, so we pick number 3 overall. Not too shabby. Hornets 1. Jazz 2, Wizards 4, 76ers 5, Nets 6, and then the Raptors 7, and then 8 Spurs, and the 9 Blazers. So the next thing to figure out is what we're going to do with Zion Williamson. As I mentioned, more than likely he will be traded away off this team, and I fully agree with that decision, like I kind of mentioned it already. So let's go ahead and head to draft night. And before we actually draft, I do want to see if there's a world where we could trade Zion before the draft. So with the 3rd overall pick, one thing I immediately thought about once I saw how the lottery went, like, would the Hornets do a 3 in Zion for #1? I think that could be something that could happen, but at the same magnitude, I don't want to do that because I just had Cooper Flagg in yesterday's video, and I had Dylan Harper in the Jazz one. So I'm kind of hoping we get Ace Bailey today, I guess, to change it up, funny enough. But I think I'm going to go ahead and try to trade Zion somewhere, or we can still trade him to Charlotte, don't get me wrong. But I don't even know what Zion's trade value exactly would be, so I'm just going to try to make something up on the fly. But I think I might wait till after the draft still. So let's go ahead and draft with the 3rd overall pick. I'm hoping for Ace Bailey, like I said. So Cooper Flagg goes 1, and the Utah Jazz take Dylan Harper. So I guess it works out kind of perfectly to what I wanted. So Ace Bailey will be a New Orleans Pelican. So welcome to New Orleans, Ace Bailey. We've had all 3 prospects in these offseason rebuilds now. So whoever we do next, it's not going to really matter. We've had all 3, and then obviously maybe we get BJ Coming the next one. We'll just keep going down the list. Washington gets him, though, in this one. So Ace Bailey, welcome to New Orleans. We have Brandon Boston, Jordan Hawkins, which will accept both of those. And then you got Keanu Brooks, Jamal Cain, and Lester Quiones, all as free agents. Okay, do we have any bird right players to worry about? We have JRE, and that's about it. So nothing too crazy to be looking at here. But I do think I want to immediately move, like I said, into trading Zion Williamson. I think I want to get that out of the way this offseason. Trey Murphy to Jonathan Murray, once these guys are healthy, will obviously rejoin the rotation. Ace Bailey's going to be a big starter next year. CJ McCollum's probably going to be here for now. Maybe we do something with him at the deadline. But my attention turns to this guy. Let's go see what we can get for Zion Williamson and see if I can come up with any type of realistic trade. Although, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure what his value is going to be, but we'll see. So I first started off by trading Zion Williamson in the trade finder, and I think my hope out of this is to at least get 1 good prospect and maybe 1 first for Zion. That would be like my optimistic hope, and maybe the realistic scenario the Pelicans could stare themselves in the face with potentially. So this one kind of makes sense. We get Montas Buzelis, but I think Chicago likes him a lot. The one I actually kind of like the idea of is Detroit, though. Detroit Pistons could maybe get some value out of Zion Williamson, and we take on Tobias Harris's contract for a year. We get one of their prospects. Now, they're offering me Ron Holland. I actually don't want Ron Holland. I actually want somebody else. So we're going to see if we can maybe make something happen where Zion goes to Detroit instead of us dealing with him in New Orleans. So Tobias Harris's contract being in here is totally fine, though. So we could maybe go for like a Jaden Ivey, or I'm even also tempted or kind of intrigued by an Asar Thompson type to bring him in. So I think that's where I'm going to turn my attention to. So let's see if we can get Asar Thompson off the Pistons. So we get Asar Thompson, and I'm kind of hoping for, like I said, one first-round pick maybe in the future in like 2028 or something. So this is kind of what I'm hoping for. So let's see if the Pistons would bite at this, and they say no to that to start things off. But thankfully, I probably have another play I can throw in here with it, maybe to maybe sweeten the pot a little bit. So Antonio Reeves, they're getting closer to accepting this. Now, we have no first-round picks to offer them, so that's kind of unfortunate. I guess we could give them Carlo Makovich, or we're not giving up Hawkins, or I guess there's Olenek, but I don't know. I guess they can't take that much money. I will throw Carlo Makovich in here, although he could be a solid player for us, but I'm going to go ahead and offer it anyway. So we get Asar Thompson, a first-round pick. It does suck that I have to attach so many things to Zion, but getting Asar in a first-round pick, I'd feel pretty good about, and they still didn't agree to that. Wow. Okay, this is getting to where maybe it's a little too steep. I don't know if I can get that far. Maybe we don't get a first-round pick, and we just simply get Asar Thompson. I'd be fine with that as well. And they still didn't agree to that. Wow, I'm shocked. Okay, so this so far is not working. Asar Thompson, straight up, they can't do it. Okay, what if I get maybe Isaiah Stewart off of you instead? They'll say no. Damn, I thought this would be easier, but so far, it's not that easy. So I guess we got to move on to something else. But that's kind of the trade idea I am looking for. I guess this one isn't too bad either. I could see Chicago maybe being interested in Zion Williamson. So we might be snagging Derek Queen off of them, who they probably just drafted. But he'd be a pretty good, obviously, rotational piece for us. And we get an unprotected first-round pick. Maybe we even get that Blazers pick out of them as well. That's probably never going to convey. But maybe the Blazers make the playoffs next year. We'll see. So we're going to offer them. Okay, so they want to give us Carlo Makovich, they want Carlo Makovich and Brandon Boston. We'll get Lonzo Ball as well. So Lonzo back to New Orleans. I don't even think they could trade Lonzo. So just, I mean, can we just keep it simple like this? Maybe don't even get that lottery protected pick off of you. Not that valuable anyway. So they want Olenek, Antonio Reeves, and we get Patrick Williams out of them as well. So I guess we have to take on Patrick Williams' contract. But he actually ends up being a good simulation player. So I don't hate this. So sure, getting Patrick Williams as a throw-in doesn't hurt at all. So we're going to get Derek Queen, a first-round pick, and Patrick Williams for Zion Williamson. So that trade has been solved. I could understand if you think Zion's going to be more valuable than that. I totally get it. I don't truly know what his value is going to be. But that is the trade we've settled on. So now we no longer have Zion Williamson. He is gone. And now we can turn our attention to building this roster out the way we want it to be. So Alvarado and Murray is your point guard rotation next year. Obviously, Murray got hurt very early on in his New Orleans stint. McCollum, Ace Bailey, Brandon Boston, and Jordan Hawkins. This will probably be what it's like for now, but eventually we will move CJ McCollum out of here to give Ace Bailey the start. And then Herb Jones, Trey Murphy. Obviously, I love that. And then we got Patch Williams at the 4. Missy. We got Zach Collins, Carlo Makovich. But Derek Queen is truly the guy that we're hoping to become our starting center, or Missy. But we should have a good center rotation one day with him and Missy. And that's what we got for Zion Williamson. So I don't really think I'm going to be doing much else here for the rest of free agency. But I guess the one thing I will do is I'll get Champagnie on a pretty good contract. So we'll bring Champagnie in, and that will be it. So we will have that all settled, and the Zion trade is done. So let's go to player progression and see what it's looking like now. We have CJ McCollum down to an 80 overall. Herb Jones, 82. Hawkins, 78. And then I guess Trey Murphy and DeJounte Murray are still hurt. I really like the upside of Trey Murphy, but one thing I will tell you is that in 2K, he never becomes very good, to be honest with you. So we really can't bank on him being the guy for us, even though I think New Orleans could maybe rely on Trey Murphy to become something special for them. But we can't rely on that in this simulation. So let's go take a look at the rotation, though, going into year number 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at this rotation going into year number 1, as I guess we're going to be at 3.5 balance. So we're going to leave it at that, and then we'll take a look at what the starting lineup is actually looking like and what we're going to be going into with. So we got a balanced system here, and let's take a look at it. So we got DeJounte Murray, Ace Bailey starting. So CJ McCollum coming off the bench, which is fine by me. Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and Zach Collins. Missy, CJ McCollum, Patch Williams, Carlo Makovich, and Champagnie. So honestly, there's a few things I don't like here. So first and foremost, Zach Collins is not going to start. And honestly, I don't really even care about playing him to begin with. So we're actually going to go ahead and kick Zach Collins completely out of the rotation and give these minutes to Derek Queen. Also, we're not getting Jordan Hawkins any minutes either, so I kind of hate that idea. So let's go ahead and give Jordan Hawkins Makovic's minutes, I guess. We'll go with that, and then Hawkins will get some run here. Gives us a little bit of a logjam right now, but it'll be figured out in due time. Alvarado out of the rotation kind of sucks, but whatever. Brandon Boston, that's fine. So Murray's going to be 30, Ace Bailey 34, Herb Jones, let's go 29, and then Trey Murphy, let's give him 34, something like that as well. So something along the lines of that, and then Stephen McCollum can get a few minutes there, and I like that a little bit. So that's what we're going to rock with for this season. And then shot tendencies. So obviously Murray's shot tendency is pretty high. I would like Trey Murphy's to be pretty high as well for this team. Obviously with Zion and Ingram gone, the shot should go somewhere. And I always like Trey Murphy to hopefully become the guy, but I've noticed it never does happen. So I'm not even going to hope that it does become that way. I just know it's not going to. So Trey Murphy and then Ace Bailey's is, what is it out of the draft? It's an 80 and 80, which I think is fair. So we'll leave that all the way it is. Trey Murphy, I need you to be the guy, but I do acknowledge that more than likely this will not be a good team because of that. Because 2K doesn't love Trey Murphy like that. But, hey, maybe I stand corrected so far because we're off to a great start. So I will more than likely see you at the trade deadline, though, so we could trade Stephen McCollum away. Or we just let him walk in the offseason as well. That's fine, too. So I guess it depends. If we're just super good, which we are right now, maybe I won't even touch anything. We'll see, though. So at the end of year number 1, Shea wins MVP, Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year, DiVincenzo 6-man Giannis Defensive Player, Evan Mobley Most Improved, and Stephen Curry Clutch Player of the Year. So this team was actually somewhat surprising. I didn't really anticipate us being that good right away, but we kind of were decent enough. Now, it did suck because it looked like we were about to be a locked and loaded playoff team, but eventually things did fall off as far as seeding is concerned. But Ace Bailey was really good as a rookie, which was to be expected, obviously. But we end up as the 8th seed, funny enough. Now, I will tell you, we're a good 8th seed because we finished up at 47 or 46 and 36, which is usually pretty good, but it was a very close Western Conference. So 10 games over 500 is still awesome, but let's take a look at the stats to kind of see what happened. So Trey, okay, you know what? Maybe I stand corrected because every time I've tried to make Trey Murphy like really good in 2K, it's failed every time, I feel like. But he averaged 28 points per game this season, and obviously very efficient on top of that. On 14 threes per game, shot 40%. What a freaking stud. Ace Bailey with 20. Murray with 17. 13 from McCollum. 10 from Jordan Hawkins. 9 from Patrick Williams. 8 from Missy. 7 from Herb Jones. And 5 from Shampenny. So, not too shabby. But do we get into the playoffs is the question. So, we will lose to San Antonio. And we get to play Houston. So, obviously, if I fix the rotation, it's going to kind of like, you know, get away from what I did make happen. But I guess we will. So, 9-man rotation. Actually puts Patrick Williams over Herb Jones and gets like some of these guys in that I don't really wanting to play, but whatever. I'm gonna just go ahead and simply kick out Zach. Okay, so we'll move. I guess we just got to fix these 2 spots. So I want to put Hawkins in as well, who's on to a good start. So Collins and also Makovic can move out, and we'll see if we can win this game against Houston. We'll see how it goes. We are at home, so hopefully this works out, but we shall see. So we got ourselves a close game with the Rockets, and looks like we will get eliminated, maybe. And yeah, so we're not gonna win in the play-in. So 46-36 bounced out, which does suck, but it is what it is. So you got Dallas, Houston. Dallas beat them, and you got the Knicks and the Thunder, and it will be the Knicks going on to win it all this time as Shea won Finals MVP even though they lost. So Al Horford retires on the Lakers of all teams, which is interesting. But to the lottery we go, which I believe we get the Bucks pick this offseason, and it ends up being top 3 projected, which is just fantastic. So we didn't even have to tank, and we're still going to get a damn good pick. Imagine we add AJ DeBanza to this right now. No, we're not going to get that lucky. So we get 6. We get the 6th overall pick. But we get to add a good player nonetheless. The OKC has 2 picks right now that they're actually not supposed to have because I believe Philly and Utah's is both protected. So quite a few things I need to fix here, obviously, but we'll fix them in due time. So Willie Green is going to stick around again, although we could technically fire him because he's gotten into the play-in before, and then they lost in there. Or no, they got into the playoffs, actually, and lost to Phoenix in round 1. We could go after Missoula, or we could hang on to him for 1 more year. I guess we'll hang on to him for 1 more season. I think things went decently well under him. Let's go to draft night, and let's go see. They're mowing right outside my window, by the way, so I apologize if you guys can hear that. But 6th overall pick and 22nd overall pick. So let's just simply go fix those draft picks, and we'll pick with a 6th overall selection and see what we can add. So let's jump into the draft and see what we can pick with that 6th overall selection from the Milwaukee Bucks. AJ goes to Phoenix. You got Cameron Boozer to Philadelphia. Utah gets Darren Peterson. Elijah Arenas goes to Miami, and then Darius goes to Washington. So We probably more than likely will either take Caleb Wilson or Koa Pete here. So either one really can't go wrong. But I think we'll take Caleb Wilson here, be our potential, he's going to be in the rotation probably immediately. So welcome in. We also have the 22nd overall pick. I'm going to take Kareem Lopez. So that will be our draft. So I'm happy to have both of you come in. Caleb Wilson, like I said, will probably play immediately off the bench. So love that. Player options, we got Missy. I'm actually going to decline Makovic, and then I'm going to accept Jordan Hawkins, obviously, and Alvaro is going to decline as well. But qualifying offers, Brandon Boston, we'll go ahead and give the qualifying offer to if he wants to come back potentially, or we renounce him eventually. We'll see. Zach Collins, Jamal Kane. So as far as all his free agents are concerned, I'm probably not worried about most of them. Murray, I believe, is on the last year of his deal, and he has a team option, actually, so I guess we can keep for another year if we wanted to. Hawkins and Ace Bailey still feels like a great shooting guard rotation. Herb Jones, Patrick Williams, I like that still. Trey Murphy, Champagny, and then we just added Caleb Wilson, and then Derek Queen and Missy, which is why I didn't keep Makovic, because I want Derek Queen to be a big part of what we do next year, and I really like this center rotation anyway. Champagny probably isn't as necessary to keep anymore, unless if you want to move on for Patrick Williams, who, how'd he do last year for us? 9 points and 38% from 3, so not horrible. Playing a bench role for us, so we'll more than likely just be kind of running this bad boy back. We just kind of need a backup point guard, which that could go to Jose Alvarado. So we could do this again without obviously having CJ McCollum's contract on the books too. So we do have the financial freedom to maybe make some random trade if we wanted to at the deadline if we want to. We'll see. It would probably involve Patrick Williams' contract or something like that. It all just kind of depends. So that will be all we do this offseason as far as player progression. We'll look at that now, and then we'll kind of have a feeling of what we're going to be looking like going into the season. So Trey Murphy's up to an 86, which is great. Murray up to an 85. Ace Bailey up to an 85. Patrick Williams up. Hawkins up. Derek Queen's up to 79, which is what I wanted. So if there is the financial incentive, or no, I guess not financial incentive, but if there is an incentive to stop at the deadline to add another potential star here, I think I would do so. I think it would be at the point guard spot, because I don't really think DeJounte Murray is our long-term point guard per se, but I absolutely do love kind of our shooting guard through center spot. I actually really like a lot. I think Missy, Derek Queen, and then you have Herb Jones, and then Trey Murphy, Ace Bailey. I think that could be good for a very long time. To me, it's just about that point guard spot with DeJounte Murray. We could probably use him and also Patrick Williams' contract and really get ourselves a really good point guard if we really wanted to. And we might look at that at the deadline. This could be a very quick turnaround rebuild for this team because of how much potential that some of the guys they have. So Murray, Ace Bailey, Williams, Trey Murphy, Derek Queen, which is what I kind of expected the rotation to be. We are running 9-man, 50 bench utilization, so that does leave Caleb Wilson, which I'm going to go 10-man so he does get some minutes. So Caleb Wilson will get involved too here, or I guess they'll give it to Alvarado. But I'm going to give these minutes to Caleb Wilson for this season. So we'll see how it goes. If I decide to stop at the deadline to trade DeJounte Murray, of course, I will show you that. But we'll see if we're able to repeat kind of what we did last year where we were a good team. And we can make ourselves even better at the deadline if we upgrade that point guard position potentially. So we're 32-16 at the trade deadline. We're a damn good team, but I'm looking to make ourselves even better because I'm not really sure, as good as we are right now, I don't know if this is the team that's going to go win a championship this year. And I actually think we're very close to already winning, which is not something I really anticipated. But Trey Murphy has been excellent. Ace Bailey's been a really good addition right away. We do have a few left, a few assets left that we can use at our disposal. So I was kind of looking at the potential guard market we can bring in. And immediately, this one caught my attention. Obviously, Devin Booker's time in Phoenix could be coming to a close. Might even maybe be this offseason. We don't truly know. I can't wait to get to that offseason rebuild. It's going to be very interesting to see what we do in that one. Scoot Henderson's interesting too, but I don't think the Blazers are going to just trade him on his rookie contract, even though I've done that in a video before. Maxey was kind of intriguing as well. It looks like we believe that Embiid, Maxey, and Yabusele can be acquired via a trade. So Maxey, and then the other one that I was kind of thinking about, John Morant's also available technically, but I don't know, man. John Morant's also another guy that has his issues that I think New Orleans probably wouldn't even want to touch that. Trae Young, I guess, is available too, and he'd be fun, don't get me wrong, and we could send DeJounte Murray back to Atlanta, which would be funny, but I am tempted by this Devin Booker situation. 30-year-old Devin Booker, obviously not really a traditional point guard, but he is someone that could definitely play make at that point guard spot. And we definitely have the ability to get to his salary, I believe, with Murray and Williams' contract. So we're going to throw DeJounte Murray in here, which is an expiring contract anyway. So Murray will start this trade offer off along with Patrick Williams, and that should be enough salary to obviously match what they're looking for. And then we just got to figure out if we have the draft picks to pull this off. Now, it might still be tough to pull this off, don't get me wrong, but we're at least going to try because we had one more, I believe, pick swap. Yeah, look at that. 2027 pick swap. I know we're giving up like a really good pick, but you can't deny getting Devin Booker, who has 2 years left in his deal, could make this team even better. And I'll give up this Bulls pick that actually has some value to it as well. So Murray, Patrick Williams, and a really good 2027 first. Is that enough to land us Booker? It is. Wow, that was a lot easier than I anticipated. So Devin Booker is now going to be on the Pelicans. Immediately makes our rotation that much better. So now you have a starting 5 of Booker, Ace Bailey, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Derek Queen, Missy, Hawkins, Champagnie, and Caleb Wilson. So that looks pretty good. So we even have guys ready to step up. And I thought we were going to have to trade Caleb Wilson, and we didn't even have to do that. So that feels good. So now I'm in rotation to round up, for the end of the season. 32-16 right now. Let's see if Devin Booker comes in and collides well, or do they clash? I guess trying to coexist well, or maybe there's a better word I'm looking for. But so far, it looks like things are going extremely well by adding Devin Booker. So that is what we wanted to see. So we should be a legitimate top 3 seed in the West. And there could be a championship coming very soon, potentially. But we'll see. And I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. I think this is year 2. Year 2 or year 3. I always get these confused, but I'll see you there. So Wembanyama is going to win MVP. Boozer is your Rookie of the Year. Anthony is your 6th man. Wemby Defensive Player. Hugo Most Improved. And Zion Williamson is your Clutch Player. So obviously Zion's having a great stint in Chicago, which I kind of expected. But again, the Zion experiment in New Orleans should be more than over, in my opinion, in real life. So Wemby, Jokic, Doncic, LaMelo, Halliburton. I don't know if we'd find anybody on these. Maybe Devin Booker makes an appearance. No, don't think I see him, unfortunately. So here's all offensive first team and all defensive second team. We do get Ace Bailey making it, which is awesome. All rookie first team and all rookie second team. We do get Caleb Wilson representing as well. So we are, in fact, a top 4 seed in the West, and we do draw the Thunder, which should be a tough one, but I'm ready for the challenge, so we'll see how this is going to go. We got Shea, and then what else do they have, of course? So Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Wallace, J-Dub, Chet, Hardenstein, Lou Dort, Topic, and then Milwaukee has been the new addition. And then why is OJ... Whoa. Why is the rotation so bad after... I mean, they could literally be playing these guys, but I guess. Okay, whatever. Game 1 goes to us. Beat them by 21, so nice start there. Game 2 goes to us. Nice. So far, so good. And we will sweep the Thunder. Wow. Was not really anticipating this being that easy, but so far it is. We get the San Antonio Spurs now, so Wembanyama is obviously going to be tough. They've added Josh Giddey. So what is Chicago? I mean, Chicago didn't make the playoffs, unfortunately. They have Lonzo starting at point guard. No more Josh Giddey, I guess. Okay, the San Antonio in New Orleans. Game 1 goes to San Antonio. Game 2, we even it up. Nice, 22-10, 31 from Devin Booker. Game 3 goes to San Antonio, and Game 4 goes to them as well. So we may not be ready just yet to take out the Spurs, but maybe another offseason with our team fully gelling, we might be ready next year, which would be fine as well, unless if we're ready to extend the series, but I don't think we will. We made progress and got to round 2, but unfortunately was not good enough to beat a team like the Spurs. But there's going to be more development this offseason, and the team we lost to did go on and win the whole thing, so we can't be too discouraged. Lakers and Knicks, LeBron is retiring on the Lakers, and then Kevin Durant's retiring on the Knicks. Paul George retiring, so kind of an end of an era for a lot of players that have shaped our league for quite some time. So for the lottery, I am curious to see where that pick falls that we gave the Suns, and they are projected, well, 2 via Milwaukee. I don't know. We'll see where it ends up. So, oh, wow. They got the number 1 overall pick. So they're going to be able to draft number 1 for the Devin Booker trade. So I think that worked out pretty well for them. They can get Tyron Stokes and they can rebuild. So pretty solid. I think pretty good trade for both sides. I think we'll move on from Willie Green and grab a different head coach. So we're going to go after Tyronn Lue. We're going to go after Nick Nurse. But let's try to bring in the best available coach we can to shape this team into where we want to be. So I guess Chris Finch would also have the best potential. So let's offer all 3 of those guys. None of them are going to accept our offer, though. Damn, that sucks. Okay. So Quinn Snyder is another one that's still available. And we won't get Quinn Snyder either. So damn, we're striking out on everybody. Let's see what else we got. Willie Green might be our best option. I guess we have Jacob Underwood as well, who has a really good offense. Stoffer obviously exists. Peterson is already hired. And then Cabello. Diego Cabello. I guess we'll go Jacob Underwood, though, to be our head coach because we missed on nope. Yeah, Quinn Snyder rejected us. So, Jacob Underwood's our new head coach in New Orleans. No longer Willie Green. And I don't even think we had a draft pick, but let me just double check that, actually. So, yeah, no picks at all. But that's fine. We kind of knew what we were doing. So, why am I stuck? Why can't I do anything right now? 2K, what are we doing? Okay, can I back out now? No? Maybe I have to offer a trade. I don't know why I'm stuck in this screen right now. Okay. I get it. I would love to back out of this. I'm fully stuck right now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I have to make a trade, I guess, to get out of this. It's literally not, you know what? I don't really care about this, but okay. I was literally stuck. I couldn't back out of that, so I just 2K just forced me to make a trade. Okay, it's doing it again though. What are we doing? Why can't I go back? It's gonna force me to do another trade. Is that what we're doing? I have no idea what's going on. Might have to reset 2K because this is bugging so far. Thankfully, I have autosave on in this file, or I'd be pretty pissed right now. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in a second. But the game is bugging on me for some reason. So I'll see. I don't know what's going on. So I've rebooted up 2K again, and hopefully we're not stuck anymore because that was very bizarre. And okay, it's working now. I don't know why. It wouldn't let me click the B button. Very weird. Never had that happen to me before. But we do have a few free agents, so like Jordan Hawkins and Herb Jones, which are two guys I definitely will bring back, and neither one of them are going to ask for too much money, so there's not even really a need to take them to the last day of free agency because both of them are going to be on relatively good contracts. So that's nice. And now let's take a look. So we got Booker, Alvarado, Ace Bailey, Jordan Hawkins, Kareem Lopez still waiting in the wings as well, Herb Jones, and then you can move one of Champagny or Caleb Wilson, which will move Champagny to the 3 right now. So Champagny is always a steal if you can get him. Whoops, I didn't even do it. There we go. That worked. Okay. Player progression, because we're not going to sign anybody else unless we want to, but I think we have a full 10-man rotation. We're actually 11 deep right now, especially if Lopez develops it any further. So let's go to player progression, and let's see if year number, whatever this is, I keep losing track, is going to be a year where we can maybe win a championship. So Ace Bailey's up to a 90. Derek Queen's up to an 85, so that trade has been awesome. Kill Wilson up to an 83. Lopez up to a 78. So it looks like we're pretty deep. The only player who has regressed is Alvarado, so Alvarado will find himself out of the rotation completely. Let's see if Devin Booker, Trey Murphy, Ace Bailey can go get a championship in New Orleans, but let's go look at the rotation first. Power rank has us listed 12th overall, and your proficiency is 3.5 grit and grind. Obviously, that's going to change to a balanced again, so let's go ahead and move it there. This is Underwood coaching us this year, so our offense should be good. Defensively, he is a little bit worse there. It's 2.5 stars, but we'll see. Potential is 5 stars, though. So Devin Booker, Ace Bailey, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Derek Queen up to an 86, which is looking excellent. Missy, Caleb Wilson, Champagny, Jordan Hawkins. We're even a deep rotation as well, which is awesome. So let's simulate like the first month or so, or I guess we'll simulate, let's simulate to the 14th and see how we are there. So 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. Yeah, this is looking very well right now. So far, we have not lost a game. Are we going to be undefeated? That'd be wild. And we're undefeated so far. So 11-0 to start the season. Let's see how long it goes, though. And we're 13-0. Over under 24 games. Oh, we lose. Okay, so the Suns got us. But we're 17-2. That will see you guys at the end of this season. But obviously, the expectations are, let's go win a championship. Jokic wins MVP. Stokes is your Rookie of the Year. Also, 6-man Wemby Defensive Player. John Furphy is your Most Improved. And Brunson's your Clutch Player. And Jacob Underwood, Coach of the Year at 59 and 23. So, what we kind of anticipated. We had a great season. We all kind of saw how it started. And we do get Ace Bailey making All-NBA third team, which is awesome. So, 25 points per game. Great stuff there. All defensive first team and all defensive second team. But we're most after that Larry O'Brien. So, let's go see if we can bring it to New Orleans. So, we got 25 from Booker, 25 from Ace Bailey, and 23 from Trey Murphy, who continues to be excellent. 12 from Derek Queen. I love how I said that Trey Murphy never plays well in 2K, and he's been great. So I was, maybe it's just because Zion's gone. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just he's developed. Maybe 2K updated him. I'm not sure, but usually I've had trouble with Trey Murphy developing in 2K, but he's done a great job today. So Portland Trailblazers in round 1, who have drafted Trey Johnson. They have Kamara, Avdia, Aiden, Shaden Sharp, playing in Anthony Simons and Bobby Portis. So pretty good AFC that we're running into, but we've had a great season so far, so I'm hoping it doesn't get stopped by an AFC and we do sweep them. Now we get to play the Dallas Mavericks, who have Kyrie, Will Riley, who it seems like they always have him, it feels like lately, Sensabaugh, AD, Lively, Gafford. So a pretty solid team in Dallas as well. Let's see how it goes. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to them. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. And we beat them in 5. But we're back in the conference finals. Guess what? We're playing the team that eliminated us last year. So this will be a very, very, very interesting, very interesting series. So game 1 goes to San Antonio, beat us by 2. We even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to them. Okay, so now it's for Simcast of the game 5. So they want to start Champagny. It looks like Brooklyn's awaiting us. Do I agree with starting Champagny for this one? What's he doing? 8 points and 43%? Sure. I guess if we feel like we need more spacing out there, maybe that's what gets it done. We'll see. Game 5 at home. This is probably a pivotal, game in this series. Obviously, if we lose and go back to San Antonio, we could be in deep trouble, and it's looking like that's what's going to happen. We got to win Game 6 or we're done for, so we're going back to Herb Jones, I guess. The Game 6 in San Antonio. Can we force the Game 7 back to New Orleans? Let's find out. It's looking good so far. We ran away in the second quarter. They could get back in it, but no, they will not. So 125 to 84. Trey Murphy with a nice 32 bomb there. And now for Game 7 at home, can we get to the finals? Or the Spurs going to get it done over us? Let's see. It's a close game. Might be a game we have to jump into unless we run away with it at the end, which it looks like we will. We will beat the Spurs, so we get revenge on them from last year. 35 from Ace Bailey and 34 from Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy has been excellent. Very, very happy with that. And then we get the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, so what do the Nets have? They have Igor, Cameron Thomas, Randall, Claxton, Boogie Flan, Nolan Traore. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not that terrified of this team, but every time I say that about the Nets, they end up beating me. So maybe I should have kept my mouth shut. We'll see. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to them. Game 3 go. Oh my gosh, it's happening, isn't it? Bro, I swear, every time I feel like the Nets don't have a good enough team, the 2K sim is like, oh yeah, you really think so? Watch this. That hold my beer. And this is what happens every time I play the Nets, man. Every time. But we might be able to, come back from 3-1. It's happened before. So we win Game 5. It's got to win one more and we get a Game 7. That's all we need here. So come on. We got a really good start to this game. As long as we don't blow a lead, we're going to a Game 7. It looks like we're going to a Game 7. So 113 to 79. Game 7 is indeed happening. Can we finish off the 3-1 comeback, though? Let's find out. All right, we got to get back in this game. Will we is the question. We will. The Nets are going to have our number. Oh, my. Dude. The Brooklyn Nets, dude. They're always the... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're not dead yet. It's a 7-point game with a minute 48 left. I doubt we get back in this, but let's try anyway. The minute 48 left. We just are trying to... We're trying to come back from 3-1. So let's see if I can make it happen. I usually don't jump in, but I hate the fact that I'm losing to the Nets right now. I get fouled, so we're going to draw the foul. Robert Williams is on his 5th foul as well. So we'll see if we can knock these two down. First one is going to bounce in. We're about to make this a 5-point game with still a minute 40 left. So there's still plenty of time to make something happen. 105 to 110. All we got to do is get some stops, and we could be in a good position. So let's see if we can get some defensive stops here. You guys know my 2K skills are not the greatest, but I'm going to try my butt off today. So Cam Thomas, who's elite in 2K, going to get... Okay, I almost... Nope, he's going to splash it anyway. Not great. 113 and 105. We're going to need a 3 in return. We don't even have Trey Murphy out here right now, I just noticed, which kind of sucks. But we do have Ace Bailey. So let's see if I can return the favor back to Cam Thomas. No, it's going to go in and out. All right. Going to try to, respond to that 3, but unfortunately not going to happen. Boogie Flynn's going to give it to Cam Thomas. Oh, that's a charging. I'm about to say that should be a charging foul. So we're going to get a possession granted back to us. Man, imagine if I would have hit that 3 and draw that charging. We'd be in an interesting spot right now. Trey Murphy must have fouled out. At least I hope he did because he's not out here right now. So I'm just going to run wild with Devin Booker. And we need a 3 in response. But you know what? I just realized how small Cam Thomas is guarding Ace Bailey. So let's just put that in. At least I thought. I mean, that was pretty much wide open at that point. But we need to get the ball back, and I don't know if we will. I think we lost this game after being down 3-1. We forced a Game 7. The Brooklyn Nets, man, I'm telling you, the Nets are the team that they're the bane, man. I don't know what it is. They just always have my number. So we need a quick 3. Try to get to Ace Bailey for the 3. Okay, we get an extra release there. I needed that earlier, but we get it there. So we'll see if we can't. They're going to try to... It's already probably happened. So I don't really want foul... Whoops. I don't want fouls to happen, but they're already happening. So, where is it? Isn't it in coaching settings? Or maybe... I don't remember. It's probably over anyway. Foul. I can't even find it. Timeouts on auto. Oh, late game foul. There it is. Manual. Okay. So we did foul already, which I didn't really want that, but whatever. Maybe we probably had to. We're going to have to hit more 3s. I'm probably delaying the inevitable right now, but dude, I'm so sick to my stomach. We're about to... Okay, we do get a missed shot, so maybe we can do it again. Probably don't have the angle to get... Oh, Ace Bailey, I would have loved if you stayed in that corner, but you didn't. Okay, we're going to bring you out to here. We're going to shoot another one. This time it's very contested. I don't think we're getting lucky there. Probably was going to never happen anyway. So that's going to be all she wrote. We drew, or we got it. We made it almost happen, basically. I'm at a loss for words, but the Brooklyn Nets, the team that I was not terrified of on paper, it happens every time. But I want to run it back one more season for sure. Let's go one more time. So another Coach of the Year nod going to Jacob Underwood, but obviously we don't care about that. We're trying to bring a championship here as Ace Bailey wins All-NBA third team. So we're one game away from winning it all last year. He makes All-Defensive second team as well. Let's see if we can make it happen this time. So here are your stats. He had 25 from Ace Bailey, 22 from Booker, 21 from Trey Murphy, 12 and 9 from Derek Queen, 11.5 from Kareem Lopez, 11 from Caleb Wilson, and 8 and 7 from Missy. So, by the way, this is what our rotation looks like right now. It's actually like crazy good. We have an 87 and 86 coming off the bench, which is wild, but our worst bench player is Jordan Hawkins at an 82. But let's see if it results in a championship. So we play the Thunder, who I believe we were able to beat earlier pretty easily, but you can never count out Shea and the Thunder, and we beat them in 6. So it was a little bit closer than I would have wanted, and the Spurs got eliminated by the Kings. Wow, okay. Zion went, oh, you know what? It would be fun if we saw Zion in the conference finals. That would be pretty fun. But we do have to deal with Jokic in Golden State, so we'll see. Up 2-0 so far. Come on, Sacramento, wake up over there. Let me focus on Jokic, though, because Jokic ain't going to go away. Okay, so we got to fix rotation. Also, no, we're already running 9-man. So Herb Jones is cold for whatever reason. So let's not lose to Jokic here. I'm too focused on the Kings right now. And we will please win game 5, please. And it's going to be close, but we will barely beat them. Sacramento's up 3-2. Do they win, though, is the question? No, it's going to a game 7 over there. I'd love to avoid a game 7 over here, though. So let's see. I'm too focused on Zion and the Kings right now. But as long as we beat the Warriors in game 6, we avoid a game 7. We do. And do we get the Kings or the Mavericks? We already beat the Mavericks. So, I mean, either way, it's fine. It will be the Dallas Mavericks. So I would have loved to have seen Zion. That would have been kind of poetic, but unfortunately not going to happen. So Dallas, which is a team we already took care of. See if we can do it again. 1-0. They even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. Beat them in 5. Come on. Let's go. Back to the finals. We don't have to deal with Brooklyn. Instead, we deal with the Hornets, which is another team that gives me trouble sometimes as we get Cooper Flagg versus Ace Bailey. So 2 guys from the same draft class. Let's see who gets it done. Game 1, 1-0. Game 2, 2-0. Game 3, the Hornets never stood a chance. We sweep them, and just like that, we will bring home a title. Should have been last year, but we'll end it off this time around with one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Pelicans rebuild. It was a ton of fun. Definitely interesting and curious to see what they get for Zion Williamson this offseason, assuming they do in fact trade him, which I think they will. But thank you all for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.